Hi, it's Jennifer Oliver O'Connell as the girl turns, and you are in my orbit on Town Hall Media, RedState.com. I am here with Indiana 1st District candidate Angela... Seventh, I'm sorry. Indiana 7th District candidate Angela Grabovsky. I thought I had it right. I'm like, it's 1st District. It's 7th District.
Almost right on the money.
Almost on the money. Angela Grabovsky is running against André Carson for Indiana 7th. And she was just telling me that nobody wants to touch André Carson. Why are you getting in the ring?
I think to know who Angela Grabovsky is, you need to know a little bit of Angela Grabovsky's story.
Okay, tell me about your story.
I grew up in the former Soviet Union.
Wow.
And at the age of 23, decided to immigrate to the United States. We came to the States as political and religious refugees.
Okay.
We were escaping the anti-Semitism and political persecution. So we came to the States with one suitcase and $72 per person. That's all that we were allowed to take. So my parents and grandparents left everything they've ever built for themselves and came here with me.
It's amazing.
We were looking for the freedoms that we didn't have under the communist regime.
Yes.
So right now, 33 years later, we are successful entrepreneurs in Indianapolis. We have made a life for ourselves, starting from nothing. We're grateful to all of the Hoosiers, and of course grateful to this country, and I feel like it's time to contribute, to give back. So, who else is Angela, right? What else Angela is thinking about? Angela has been living in fear for the last couple of years, seeing how our streets are deteriorating because of the increased crime. Angela's living in fear because there is no national security, and we have our own invasion here by 2 million illegals that are coming across the border. Angela is in fear because of the economic situation.
Right. Now, as a immigrant and a naturalized citizen who did it the right way,
yes.
How does that make you feel to see these people pouring over the border and getting planed into different areas of the country?
Absolutely.
And you did it correctly.
It is not fair for people who've been waiting in line and for people who were actually escaping from persecution. So, but again, how do we take care of this problem? This is the biggest issue. Until the borders are closed, we can't take care of all of the illegal immigrants that we have.
Right.
So almost 13% of the district that I'm running for are Latinos, and a lot of them are illegals. They all want our borders closed. They all understand that until the borders are closed, they will never be able to get their path to citizenship. So I think there are a lot of good ideas that are floating around about the immigration. This is one of the issues that we're going to be bringing throughout the race. So I am following very closely Maria Salazar. She is a House rep from Florida. And she came up with a plan, a path to redemption. Not a path to citizenship, but a path to redemption for all of the illegals. But it will never be implemented unless the borders are closed. So this is the issue. So, and again, I start talking about the economics. We're very fearful about the inflation. We lived in a country where the inflation was persistent.
Right.
So, and now we see that from 1.5% inflation, we're at 7.5%. And again, there is definitely no energy independence. And the whole world is no longer the same world, and America is no longer the same America it was 33 years ago. So I've decided to run. Fortunately, we're in a position that I don't have to continue working in my business and can dedicate all my time in giving back to American people.
That's fabulous. You've taken that fear and launched it into faith to give back to your
Exactly.
country. It's powerful.
So we immigrated because of the Constitution of the United States. You know, we didn't live in a country where we had the freedom of speech and the freedom of assembly, and we were living afraid of every knock on the door. We were living looking back, seeing if we have the KGB agents behind us listening to what we have to say. And now I see the same thing is happening in the country.
Yeah.
So just like Marco Rubio said yesterday, we're one word away from losing our livelihoods now.
Yes.
We're being canceled for actually voicing our opinions. This is wrong. We have to fight our rights, for our rights. So they were giving to us, but we have to fight for every one of them.
So if you succeed in unseating André Carson, what will you bring to the table for your citizens as well as for the nation?
I think the major issue for the nation right now is educating our children. They have been brainwashed by the left. They don't know what America is all about. I want to give them hope because I've never lost it. I want to show them the clear picture of how American dream looks like. I am living American dream. I want to protect our borders. I want to be energy independent, so some dictators around the world don't take advantage
Yes.
of the situation.
Right, as they are now.
So, and being from Ukraine, it's been very painful to watch what has been happening in the last couple of days.
I'm sure. Your people are suffering greatly because of the poor quality of leadership on both sides, sadly.
And you know, I listened last night to the Ministry of Defense of Russia. I'm, of course, fluent in Russian, Ukrainian, English. And you know, it may be misinformation, disinformation, but it is information, and we're getting it from 3 different countries. And unfortunately, last night, they were not blaming Ukraine. They were not blaming Kiev. They were blaming Biden and Biden's administration. Russian Ministry of Defense is blaming our own president and his administration for the situation that both countries are in. Because they did get involved, but they didn't get it to the end. So they refused to continue negotiations. And again, we're not privy to all of the information they are, but I would say the same thing. The problems in Europe, the problems in Ukraine and in Russia is the weakness of our president.
Yeah. Most definitely. It sounds like you're going to be a great candidate for the Foreign Relations Committee once we get you in Congress.
It would be good, but I'm a financial advisor, so I understand the economic consequences after he closed the Keystone Pipeline. I'm not even talking about the jobs that were lost. I'm talking about giving Russia the opportunity to sell over 800 million barrels of oil and making them rich instead of making our country rich.
And having leverage over us.
Oh, absolutely. So, you know, I have more questions than answers right now.
Okay.
So I've heard yesterday John Kerry talking to, I believe it was Al Jazeera, and saying that military actions will definitely have its effect on global carbon emissions. So
they're obsessed with climate change as opposed to...
I'm touching my head and I'm saying, you know, how can you think about carbon emission? How can you talk about President Putin not being in line with your climate agenda when there are thousands of people that are starving? There are thousands of people, millions of people right now are sitting in cold apartments because Russia stopped the gas to the Ukraine. Russia stopped the gas to Germany. Russia stopped the gas to France. So, and we're talking about climate change. So I don't think that we have our priorities straight.
Understandable. How can people help you? How can people learn more about you? Where can they find you?
There's going to be a website sometime next week, angelaforindiana.com. We are on the WinRed, Angela for Congress. I'm the only Angela who is running. So we appreciate all the help we can get. We need all the people to hear what we have to say and help Indiana and help this country to take majority in the House.
Wonderful.
Thank
you, Angela Grabovsky, for spending time with us. Jennifer Oliver O'Connell, RedState.com.